Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Oxvlog. Before I get into kind of the main crux of the video, I thought it'd be worth reintroducing myself because I haven't made any videos nor have I featured in any since the introduction one. So my name is Eireann. I am a master's student here at Lady Margaret Hall in Oxford. I am studying for a master's in education, focusing specifically on higher education. So that is basically university policy, university governance, university structures. I'm studying about universities, which is very kind of meta. My research in particular is looking at access policy, so that is work that tries to make university admissions as well as student experiences more fair. Prior to coming to Oxford, I grew up in South London. I did my undergraduate degree in Cambridge. I studied education at Cambridge, which not many people know is a thing. It's a really amazing course. It's basically kind of like education policy, child development and psychology, as well as like the philosophy of education. There is a lot involved in that course, and there are actually 3 different kind of pathways available. I'll basically leave a I'll leave a link in the description so you can look at that course if you are thinking of applying for a degree and you're kind of interested in the social sciences, because it's a really kind of like unheard of degree. A lot of people assume it's teacher training, but it's not. It's purely kind of theoretical, it's purely policy. So yeah, it's really interesting, really great. Did that for 3 years at Cambridge, and then after graduating from Cambridge I worked in Cambridge for a year in kind of university access, and then I worked in a school in London for a year, again working on the same kind of thing. I then applied to do my masters here at Oxford, and now I'm here in my 2nd term of it. So this video is basically about making money and working as a student. There is this kind of rumour that at Oxford and Cambridge you aren't allowed to work as a student, particularly as an undergraduate student, and basically I can confirm that that is mostly true. There are ways in which you can work, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. But the university really discouraged students from working alongside their course, and for a fair reason. So that reason is basically doing a course at Oxford or Cambridge is quite intense. And you should treat it like a full-time job. So in the time where you do have spare time, the university would rather see you engage in any activity that helps you relax, and that can be a sport, that can be just chilling with your friends. They don't want you in that time to be running around trying to keep up with like a job. They would rather you have some sort of break from your degree. Actually, at Oxford and Cambridge there rarely is a need to work, so please don't think I'm making this video because, you know, certain students are at a disadvantage financially. There is a lot of financial support available at both universities. They're extremely old, they have accumulated so much wealth, it is like ridiculous. So they do have a lot of support available. As an undergraduate student I got a really generous bursary. So universities, or both universities, do offer bursaries. They do subsidise a lot of things such as sports, or even, you know, living in college is a lot cheaper than renting privately. And having pretty much copyright libraries means you don't necessarily have to buy books. There are loads of ways in which going to Oxford and Cambridge is actually cheaper than going to other universities. So please don't think, you know, I'm making this video because people need to work in order to be able to like study here as an undergraduate. That isn't really the case. There's a lot of financial help, and if you're worried about that, definitely look online at the university websites and have a think about that if that's something that concerns you. But know that, you know, these are very wealthy institutions. They do have the means to support you. So I'm just going to go over some of the ways in which you can work as a student, particularly at Oxford and Cambridge, and some of the ways that I worked. The first and best way to work is to be a student ambassador, and you can do this for your college or your department or the university. And student ambassador work or access work basically involves working on summer schools or working on open days, working school visits, taster sessions, master classes. Basically all you have to do is talk to students about your experience and maybe give them some advice. What's really nice about being a student ambassador is sometimes these students come back a few years later and they say, oh, because of you, you know, I felt encouraged to apply, or because of you, I now know about this like really cool course that I wasn't considering before, and that means a lot. One disclaimer I will put forward though is that different kind of departments and colleges pay you in different ways. So in some cases you'll get paid like straight cash money. I feel very funny saying that. In some cases you'll get paid in vouchers, so your college or your department might give you vouchers which you can then spend in like Sainsbury's. Some places will take money off your accommodation so that your bill at the end of the year is a bit cheaper. And some places might just like give you food or give you meal tickets or put money on your dinner card. So you get paid in different ways, but for a job that is actually very enjoyable and not very difficult, I would say it's worth it. Another thing you can do, which a lot of people don't realise, is you can work within your college in a range of ways. So you can work in your college bar. During the holidays you can work as a college cleaner. A lot of colleges will have fundraising campaigns and you would be paid to call alumni and try and fundraise. While I was an undergraduate, I worked in my college gym. I wasn't a personal trainer or active, but I would basically clean the gym once a week. So I got paid for that. It didn't take up much time at all. And as well as that, I got free gym membership because I needed access to the gym. And what is quite good about working for college is the college can see how much you're working. They can be flexible with you if it does start to, you know, have some sort of impact on your workload, or if you have deadlines coming up and you need to kind of rearrange a shift. So they would rather see you work within the college so they can kind of keep an eye on you and your progress, and help you if anything goes wrong in the way that maybe an external company wouldn't be able to. The third way you can make money as a student, and a lot of people look concerned when I tell them this, is you can take part in paid research. So universities are research institutions. Research often requires participants, so they do look to students to maybe volunteer themselves as participants. So research that needs human participants tends to be medical, psychological, and linguistics do a lot of kind of research studies where they need participants. I personally refrain from taking part in medical research. That is because I think, you know, being a student, I don't necessarily have the time to take a risk with like new treatments, or, you know, be in a situation where if I experience a side effect, I have the time to deal with that. Actually, like, I'm very busy and I don't want any kind of illness or distraction, so I avoid it. But, you know, I trust that people can make their own decisions and their own informed decisions, so please don't let me put you off if that's something you wanted to consider. But psychology and linguistics research tends to be very quick, very easy. Sessions are usually like an hour. Some of them are an hour and that's all. Some of them they might want you to come back a week later. And these are just very simple tasks. They can be psychometric tests, they can be linguistics tasks, they can just be interviews. So I think they're really easy. In most cases you get paid, and at the end of the day you decide to volunteer. If you are doing it purely for the money, you don't need to volunteer for the ones that aren't paid. And also if you're interested in psychology or linguistics or social sciences, then you kind of learn something at the end, or, you know, you can spend your time trying to work out what they're trying to work out. That doesn't actually help their study, but it is what I do. And some of them they will want particular kind of participants, so they might want left-handed people, or they might want bilingual people, or they might want people with speech impairment, but in most cases they just want participants within a certain age range, and that range is usually quite big anyway. Another way you can kind of make money on the side is by selling your own clothes, or selling any kind of services you can provide. So there are loads of apps where you can sell your old clothes, and that kind of just helps you not have such a cluttered space, and get rid of things that you're not wearing anymore. But what I've seen a lot of students do additionally is if they're good at doing makeup or doing hair, or even like cooking or baking, they will often kind of monetize on that, particularly if there's like college balls coming up. A lot of people will start to promote themselves and the different like looks and styles they can do, and as a student it is cheaper for you to get your makeup done by your friend, or your hair done by your friend or someone in your year, than for you to go to a hairdresser's or to go to like whatever makeup shops. So if you have some sort of skill that you really want to develop, and maybe you want to make into a business post university, then that is something you can do. Like, you know, you're good at it, so why not? The final way to make money is to just do it in the holidays. Going to Oxford and Cambridge, you do have very long kind of summer breaks. They're actually about 3 months long, and a lot of people will take advantage of that. So you could do a paid internship where you are doing something that is really helpful for like your future career or for your skill set. You could do something that enables you to travel and get paid for that. You could just do a job, you know, within your local area to kind of like help you earn money over the holidays for whatever reason. And because those holidays are so long, if you wanted, you could work, you know, for 2 months straight, and then in September, when you still haven't gone back to uni, because terms usually start in October here, you can use that time to reset and refresh and do any reading you might want to do, or just relax or take a break. So if you do want to make money or do need to make money, that is something you can do in the holidays, and maybe save that up before you come back to uni. I hope this video has been helpful, whether you are a current student who is trying to think of ways to make money, or you're a prospective student who just wanted the kind of reassurance that there are ways to make money if you wish to. I hope it's been somewhat reassuring. Please once again remember that these universities are very wealthy and there is financial support available. I'm making this video because I thought it'd be helpful, and because, you know, I worked because I wanted to. There are ways in which you can work. It's just that they're a bit more kind of flexible, so that if anything did happen with your studies, you would be able to kind of rearrange that or work around it. I hope that makes sense. Please do comment below the kind of videos you want to see from us this year. I think we've tried to do a mix between vlogging videos as well as information and guidance. If you have any questions, any suggestions, please drop them in the comments below. In the description I put information about my undergraduate course, information about financial support as an undergraduate student, as well as our social medias more generally. Social medias? I don't know. Socials, whatever. Thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see you next week.